A report has found that TKO have doubled WWE ticket prices over the last few years. A return date has been set for a SmackDown superstar, and all of us getting more adverts on Netflix. WTF? Find out more in this news video right now. So we'll kick things off with Netflix. What a halcyon world we live in over here in the United Kingdom. NordVPN /Cultaholic. If you're not in the United Kingdom and want to watch on Netflix. But it's not as good as it used to be, Sam, because it looks like we're all getting more Netflix adverts now.
We'd been hearing that certain markets were starting to see adverts, and it was a bit like, but I'm paying for Netflix. Why am I getting adverts? We're supposed to be getting... I think we were initially promised, like... when it cut away to adverts, we'd either see the continued bits of matches or intermatch interviews. But instead, it's apparently just going to be rolled out internationally generally. So it's common already in the US on streaming services, but international audiences have largely avoided them so far. And WWE, apparently, according to Body Slam, they're going to be rolling it out on Raw, on Netflix, commercials internationally. Full stop.
Makes you wonder what will happen to the in-between segment promos, because if you're watching on Netflix over here in the UK, we've got accustomed to these. Well, some of them are wonderful, some of them are just
weird,
generic wrestling promos. But they'll have an interview in the crowd basically for the live audience and the Netflix audience who aren't in the United States of America, and you'll have promos cut on the storylines that you're watching on Raw. It's breeded some fantastic moments, and I hope, at least for the live crowd, at least they stick around.
Yeah, it might not be that we get every single slot possible filled with adverts straight away. That will be what ends up happening, but I think maybe in the initial phase we might still see some of these interviews, or at least continued bits of matches, or even picture-in-picture.
Nah, I think what will make for a better show is to watch slow motion footage of your favourite superstars with like some royalty-free drum and bass over the top. Drum and bass? Why have I got drum and bass? Lo-fi, I meant lo-fi.
I wouldn't mind it if they advertise things like they do on pay-per-views, where they're all stood around going, "Oh, this pizza's so good," and they're all holding like a slice with no bite out of it, and not a single bite. Not one of them takes a bite out of it, but they're like, "It's the best pizza ever."
Yeah.
If you had that, I wouldn't mind watching the ads.
Like the Miz when he's going, I've got bad BO, me, I'm the Miz. Let's get Old Spice up because I'm 75 years old. Fantastic adverts all the same. Anyway, it looks like commercials are going to be more frequent for everyone outside of America as well.
It's all over the ring. It may as well get further all over the eyes. That must be what they're thinking.
Now, the Hokey Cokey is a fantastic dance for all ages to enjoy at many different settings across the world. Santos Escobar is in his own version of the Hokey Cokey in terms of his WWE career in recent times. He was in, then he was out, now he was back in, and a return date for him has been set for Smack Diddly Down, Sam.
Yeah, so this one coming from PW Insider, reporting that the 41-year-old is currently scheduled to make his return to WWE on the October 27th edition of Monday Night Raw live in Anaheim, California. It is really weird because it was very much in out, and he sort of... It was rumored that it was, creative frustrations or things hadn't quite gone the way that he had expected or anticipated them to go. But then they apparently went back to him and were like, no, we have creative plans. And it was like, oh. And then he has a bit more money.
Yeah, I reckon the money's the thing I've probably gotten signed on, because obviously if you're watching NXT a couple of years ago, you would have seen Legado del Fantasma be one of the staples. Their feuds against the D'Angelo family and stuff of that ilk. We can see that Santos Escobar can be a leader of a faction who can sort of be a cornerstone of a show.
Yeah.
But since going to the main roster with Angel and Berto, they haven't really been given the ball to go with.
They've just been kind of cast afloat, haven't they? It's just like, there you go. And whenever they get an air in, it's like, great, okay, what are we going to do with it? Nothing. And it's like, we need something more to sink with teeth into with it. And if they're paying him more money, you got to think we're going to get something.
Yeah, and he's got a Raw by the looks of things as well, which is a slightly longer show, which means more TV time for people to be involved in.
Yeah, so hopefully this could be a good thing. But
I don't know if it will be, just based off the evidence we've seen over the past couple of years since he went to the main roster. Speaking of NXT, we have NXT deadline, date and location news. It's the next big event. Sol Rucas had to sort of give up that title. My
she's
goodness
come out
me.
and kind of said, that's it. I'm
Unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah.
Cesaro is going to be doing the fighting for her. I'm sure that will end well. Not saying that made me sound like... I thought, Zaria's fantastic.
Not Zaria.
I mean, in terms of storyline, obviously you're going to have Zaria booked to lose, aren't you?
Yeah,
set the cat on the pigeons.
Yeah, that's probably what you're going to have to do.
But what about deadline, Sam?
Well, deadline is set for this December. Fightful Select reporting that it's scheduled for Saturday, 6th of December at the Techport Arena in San Antonio, Texas. Big Sean's home, innit?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, big homecoming for Sean. But the venue's got a capacity of around 3,000, and it's centered currently around the Iron Survivor Challenge matches, which have quickly become quite a popular stipulation match in WWE, and the winners typically earn a shot at the NXT.
You can say that again, Sam.
Yeah.
You want to start the match because that means you got more time in the match. But you want to avoid pinfalls because that means you have less time in the penalty box, Sam. It's a fantastic concept that I'm shocked has not been taken to the main roster as of yet.
It'll get stolen soon, I imagine.
Bloody
We're going to have to spice up Survivor Series a bit more once War Games gets a bit played out.
Yeah. Chef Michaels is a genius. Anyway, that's when Deadline is happening. And now we move on to the headline news today, TKO's ticket price. I'm going to read this verbatim. It comes to us from Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics. I don't want to get anything wrong. He's put, using data obtained from Polestar, WrestleNomics, turn the page, Ross, discovered that during weekly TV event tickets have roughly doubled in price, is the quotation mark there. When you adjust the figures for inflation, the average price was sitting around the $60 mark in 2020. As you progress forward towards September of 2023, when the TKO merger happened, prices immediately began to skyrocket, sitting around the $118 mark now. There is a little bit of a caveat for that, though, isn't there?
It is the sort of average ticket price being taken into account there, but essentially, when you look at concerts and other live sports, there has been an increase in ticket prices over those years. So when you break, it's a really interesting article, so do go dig it out because they've got all these graphs and charts and everything. But essentially, between 2023 and 2024, everything else in the entertainment sphere appeared to just kind of plateau. So it's all kind of reached a new level there and leveled off. But the article does suggest a reason for the increase could lie in WWE's focus on more international events and less house shows domestically in the US, meaning less events for the American market as a whole, which creates scarcity, which drives demand and then increases prices. The president of TKO has gone on record in recent history saying that ticket prices are nowhere near where we want them to be when you look at UFC. So it's one of those where we are expecting this trend to continue. But WrestleNomics, interestingly, at the end of the article, they look into data from AEW, and it suggests that their pricing trajectory is going in the opposite direction. So it dropped from an average price of $58 to $49 from 2022 to 2025.
And long may that continue. Because quite frankly, looking at the prices, I mean, I paid out the arse for Clash at the Castle 2022.
I don't like. It was when Money in the Bank, because I knew I wasn't going to be going on the trip, and I was like, like I've never been to like a UK-based WWE pay-per-view or anything, so I was like, I might try and go down, and then it was okay, you can buy tickets now, but you have to buy for SmackDown as well. And then I was like, but I just want to do Money in the Bank, can't afford to do both. And then it was like 2 weeks before, it was like, right, the single tickets are left now, and they were all like £400. And I was just like, and then I've got to get to London, and I've got to get a hotel, and oh man,
it's just becoming a place where only the really, really rich can really afford. Like, because when you go to a wrestling show, you don't want your only option to be the very back row.
No,
which I think for WrestleMania next year, a lot of people's only option. If you've got kids, if you've got a significant other,
I think for us it's weird because for us it's like it was always expensive, but now it's getting like holiday or taking your family to Alton Towers expensive. So it's like a once a year thing. But then again, we only have Raw and SmackDown usually once, twice a year. Then we might get an event. So it's like, I understand why international markets might be high ticket prices, but it's got to be hard if you're an American who likes to go to Raw. The majority of the tapings are happening there, and the average prices are just going, because it's hard enough for us to get like pay-per-view events, but if they're selling out, they're just going to keep increasing the prices,
doing, aren't they? So stop buying the tickets. It'd be interesting to see. It's a shame that they don't run as many house shows. Obviously, it's a good thing for the talent because they get the rest of it a bit more. But in terms of just this report here, what the ticket price difference would be if they were still doing house shows compared to obviously 2020 when this report started here.
Yeah, it's one of those where I just don't know what that top end looks like, because surely UFC's ticket price, I'd like to look at that actually. Are UFC's still climbing? Because if they're still climbing, then it's just infinite scale.
There was a report a few months ago saying that was it the profit margins, I think, of UFC compared to WWE. UFC's is a lot bigger. And that's why I think that's a driving force of TKO going, if people are going to pay that for the UFC, obviously they're going to pay that for the other combat sport.
I just don't know where it ends. I don't know what the absolute tap out point is, because I think it'll come. But will they care?
I think it would, the way the world's going, just in terms of the cost of living crisis we're all going through right now. There's got to be a breaking point for fans, but there isn't looking like there's one to be anytime soon, is there?
No, it doesn't look like that, but we might be back later on with some more news if anything else breaks, but keep it with us here on the channel. In the meantime, we got some delicious things up over on Patreon, don't we, Ross?
Oh yes, 2 WTF Moments episodes are now live. Crown Jewel, sorry it was late. We were ill last week, me and Richard. My goodness me, it was terrible. And also Wrestle Dream is live as as well. And me and Sam will be on Twitch later, twitch.tv/Cultaholic at 5 p.m. BST to watch episode, what is it, 8?
I think it's episode 8 of Loaded.
WCPW Loaded it.
WCPW.
Stop it. Nom flashbacks. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.